What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to never run out of things to say during a conversation. The number one mistake that most people make in conversations is that they're too selfish. Being self-conscious is another word for selfish. Like, you're quite literally thinking about yourself, worried about, oh my God, what's this person think of me? Instead of focusing on the other person. And guess what? That is what's ruining the conversation, because honestly, when you focus on the other person and you make it the conversation about them, then they have a great time. Because guess what? People can talk about themselves for hours, literal hours. And so if you are only talking about the other person, it's going to make that other person feel like, wow, they're really interested in me. And they're going to want to learn more about you as a result. So what I see oftentimes is people will have the other person tell them something, say, I just went on a trip to Italy. That's cool. I went to Italy like in the summer and I thought it was really awesome. I really enjoyed the food there. It's going to make the other person think, okay, well, I wasn't finished. I wanted to keep talking about my trip to Italy. So general rule of thumb is ask 2 follow-up questions before relating back to them. So if they say, hey, I just checked out this new Colombian restaurant, immediately ask follow-up questions. What'd you get? Oh, that's cool. How much was it? If you ask questions like that, they give you answers. You want stories, not answers. So you're going to ask them, how do you like the food? What do you think of the experience? When you get into those feeling-based questions, that is what's going to tell you way more about that person as opposed to just asking them how much it costs. So you want to know more about them through their stories, okay? You can't ask someone, hey, what are your values? Hey, what are your priorities in life? Hey, what do you like to do for fun? Like, these are questions that are too direct and they often come across as very strict, very awkward, very forced, right? We don't want that to be forced. We want to learn about this person's values, their priorities, their dreams, their goals through their stories. You want to be giving verbal affirmations. You want to be able to show this person, hey, I'm paying attention. That's going to be by doing things like saying, I see, oh, okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I understand that. Nodding, smiling, giving them these verbal affirmations. That's what's going to show this person, hey, dude, this person is really interested in me. And that makes them feel great. That's going to make them want to talk to you for hours. And so always give verbal affirmations. You want to be laughing at their jokes. You want to be leaning forward. You want to be invested in them. So that is how you're going to actually make that person feel invested. That's step 1. Step 2, what you're going to do is you are then going to listen without judgment, right? So you are going to listen and you are going to hear what they say, and you're not going to judge it. Everybody makes the mistake of immediately judging and waiting for their turn to speak. No. Instead, what you want to do is you want to hear what they're saying and you want to listen without judgment, because guess what? You don't actually understand how they feel about it yet. People will basically mention a point. Like, they'll say something like, I think pineapple on pizza is disgusting. And the other person will immediately be like, well, no, it's not. No, it's not, because of here are the following reasons why. And they'll start talking about themselves, about why they believe that the other person is wrong. And guess what? You don't learn shit about the other person that way. So instead of immediately shutting them down, what you have to do is you have to understand without judgment, okay? So don't show them judgment at first. At first be like, oh, why? And then try to understand. Maybe they had their grandma force feed them pineapple on pizza. That was the only thing that they ate at home when they were a kid. And so that's why they love it, right? And so if you understand that, then you could be like, okay, well, I understand how someone likes pineapple on pizza when it's a nostalgic childhood food for them, right? So you want to understand someone's situation, because most of the time, it not only helps you connect better with them, but it also helps you truly understand this person. And when you do that, that makes the other person, it immediately makes it more interesting for you, because you could decide whether this is a person that you want in your life. And that's the thing, is that a lot of people are worried about, oh my God, does this person like me? It's like, no, what you actually want to focus on is whether this person is someone that should be in your life, okay? That is what matters most. So you want to focus on whether this person is good for you. That is key. And when you do that, that makes the other person feel like, okay, I have to work for their approval. But you're not going to do it by being judgmental. What I mean is that you are going to ask them questions about themselves. You're going to get really, really into who they are, and they are going to describe themselves. They are going to show you who they are, and you are going to be free to judge them afterwards, after truly understanding them. And that is going to show the other person, okay, well, I love talking to this person because they truly listen to me, but also I want to know more about them. They're going to work for your approval. That's what you want, because you want them to do all the work in conversations, and you are the one that is going to benefit. To be a great listener is to win in life. The most charismatic people are outwardly focused. They are focused on everyone else, not themselves. So you want to truly understand someone in order to actually decide whether this person should be someone that you want in your life. When you give your time to someone and you show that you're giving them your full attention, it makes them feel incredibly special. And when you only reserve it for people that you truly want to get to know, like once you meet someone and then afterwards you're just like, that person isn't really a person I want to keep talking to, that's not really a person that aligns with my goals, my visions, then you don't have to keep talking to them. Don't be a people pleaser, because being a people pleaser, even though that's being outwardly focused, you're letting other people walk over your boundaries. You are essentially changing yourself. Okay, in order to come across as confident and charismatic, it's going to be by being outwardly focused. But when you do talk about yourself, you are secure. Okay, you are secure. You are not changing your personality for anyone. You are not changing what you love. If you love Star Wars, you're going to say, yeah, no, I love Star Wars. You have to own it. If you love Star Wars, you love Star Wars. That doesn't mean that you have to talk about it. That's being inwardly focused, is talking about it all the time because you love it. There's a time and a place to share your interests, but it's only when other people are interested in you. If someone's super interested in you and they want you to talk about your interests, and you mention that you love Star Wars, and they're like, oh, really? Tell me about it. They're being a great listener. They're using active listening. They're being a great listener. And so then you could literally be like, yeah, no, I love Star Wars because of XYZ reasons. You could talk a little bit about yourself, but you have to be like secure in that. When people recognize, oh, this person isn't shy or insecure about it, then they won't clown you on it. It's so funny because all of the times that I've seen people get clowned on, when they show that it affects them, it makes them a bigger target. Okay, you don't want to be a bigger target. People try clowning you for something and you're just like, yeah, no, I do. I love Star Wars. It quite literally makes them be like, oh, okay, so my insults don't mean anything to this guy. It's the same reason why people, if you give someone a compliment and then they just like don't even recognize it, you're probably not going to compliment them again, right? If you do the same thing with an insult, if someone insults you and you just continue acting the same, you ignore it, you quite literally show that it didn't affect you whatsoever, they're not going to want to insult you again because they're not getting a reaction out of you. When people realize that they can't hurt you, then they stop. Because there's no point. It's like playing a game, but there's no reward. Why would you play a game if it didn't reward you in some way? You would get bored immediately. We talked about a bunch of stuff, but if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'll see you guys later.